Hello, my friends. Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here. Was asked a question a few weeks ago on one of my floss tube videos about whether I prepare the edges of my fabric before stitching, and if I don't, why not? So the short answer to that question is I don't, generally. And why not is because, number one, I'm too lazy. Number two, I just want to get right to the stitching. I don't want to fuss around with anything else when I have everything collected. I just want to get right to the stitching. And number three is because I really don't feel like I need to. And let me explain why. So I have three different projects. These are all designs of my own laying here in front of me in different stages of completion, so different lengths of time I've been handling them. I just started this one yesterday. This is the next in my Vintage Christmas Alphabet series. And you can see the particular fabric that I chose does have serging on a couple sides of it. The original fat quarter was serged, and this is just a scrap that was left. And you can see I haven't done anything to the sides on this one. I haven't done anything to the sides on any of these. There are times that I will either cut the fabric with pinking shears, and that helps with fraying. The pinking shears that I have were my mother's. They are old. They probably need oiled, so they don't open and close real well, so they're kind of a pain to use. So I don't do that very often. I also, every once in a while, if I am in the mood or I have the sewing machine out and ready to go, I will zigzag around the edges of the fabric. I've done that a couple times, but for the most part, I don't do anything. I do stitch in hand, so I am handling my fabric perhaps more than if you're using a scroll rod, or I'd say it's about the same if you're using Q-snaps or a hoop and the fabric is draping down. Of course, this tiny piece of fabric you're probably not going to put. You might put it in a little hoop if you prefer hoops. But you can see that there is some fraying. It doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, then you may want to treat the edges in some way. If it really gets to be a problem, I will pull off some threads. I have heard that if you pull off these ones that are fraying and get to the point where you just have, the whole length, there's no fraying, it's just the whole thread is across. I don't know whether that's making sense. Then the fraying stops. You don't have these edges sticking up that may get pulled by other things, so you don't have to worry about fraying as much. Every once in a while, I will pull out some of the threads, but like I said, it generally doesn't bother me. So I just started this one yesterday, so not any more fraying than what happened when I cut the fabric. This one I've been working off and on for a few weeks. You can see there is some fraying. Like I said, it doesn't bother me. None of the edges on this are serged at all. So this one I have been working on and off, and this is actually going to be one of my releases for August in the Needlework Marketplace virtual trade show, wholesale show. So I have been working on and off with this one for a couple of months. And again, we have some serging up here, but I don't want to roll it all out because I want to be partly a surprise. You can see that there is quite a bit of fraying down here, and there was quite a bit over here, and I actually just cut off the longer threads so that it didn't bother me as much. If I had thought more, I probably would have started the piece so that the serged edge was on the bottom, since that is the piece that's kind of against my body more as I'm stitching. But I didn't, and again, it's not like it ever frays that much that it's going to encroach so far up that I won't be able to frame it. I think I probably left, this looks like about 2.5, maybe 3 inches around this one. When the threads do get long with this, like this, probably what bothers me more than anything is the cat hair that gets stuck in it. But again, I'll just trim these off, and I'll be good to go. I'm almost done with this. But yeah, that's kind of how I handle the edges, I don't worry about it. It's if you have enough fabric that you've left for framing and for the border around the piece, a little bit of fraying really isn't a big deal. But like I said, if you're a person that does bother you, then you can pink the edges, use pinking shears, or you can do a zigzag sewing around the edges, and that works fine as well. So I hope you found this interesting. You got a little sneak peek of some upcoming designs, and I hope that it taught you something as well. I'll talk to you guys later. You take care. Bye-bye.